is going to do all this stuff. So it's going to plate solve, find how close it is, sync them out, and then reslew. Oh, there it is. So it's centered M13 in my field of view. What I want to do is, because right now I have a region of interest, and I'm going to go full frame with it. It still isn't full frame. There we go. I got to turn on my bug juice thingy here because I'm being attacked. So this is a 3-second exposure at max gain, which is 75,000. I have where is it? Black level is at 1408. There we go. This will get rid of the bugs. So now what I can do is you can see the X pretty good in the invert right there. So I'm going to open up the live stacker. And I want to make sure before I do that the guider is on, and it is. So what we will do now, you can see my guide camera isn't the sharpest thing in the world. Mainly because my skies are so bad tonight, which is why I'm just doing what I'm doing here. But it's plenty good enough to show people how to use SharpCap. So now I'm going to jump into the live stacker. And you can see that based on my last settings, the histogram hump is already set for my histogram settings. And we'll just let it build up a little bit here. Again, it's still blue sky out. Or not blue sky, but it's not dark yet. Hey, Howard. And guest. Been a long time since I've been on Live Skies. A little rusty. All right, so what the stacker does is many things. It tells you how many frames are being stacked, total exposure time. I'm aligning the frames. I'm using an FWHM filter. I could use a brightness filter. You would use that if you had clouds. And I also have autosave when I clear or close the stack. So there is a status tab, and you'll notice it says the frame rate's too fast. Some frames may not be processed, but that's okay. As you can see, so far it hasn't dropped any. What will happen is, because I'm at 14-bit, which is what this camera is capable of, and I'm at bin 1, you can see that with the 19 frames that are already in there, the bit depth has jumped up to 20.3, and that's a good thing. Now, this is a linear file, or linear data. It's not like a MallinCam sky image that you see on screen. And to pull the view out, you have to stretch the histogram, which is what this does. That's what the mid slider does, is stretches the data for you. So we'll just let this go for a little bit. We'll go through the rest of these. Right now I'm aligning using 15 stars. There's obviously more stars in here than that. I have suppressed top pixels on because I'm not using any calibration frames at all. NEMA. In the stacker, I'm sigma clipping, and if a satellite happened to come in the first 5 frames, you would see the streak. If it came in on the 6th frame, you wouldn't see the streak. The best way to fix that is just to restart the stack, and then it will, hopefully you won't get one before that happens. I don't use the enhancements because what I do is I take the linear file that's saved, and then I will process that in serial. I am guiding. So what will happen is every 300 seconds, it's going to dither. And you will see up here a little requester will come up saying that it's paused the stacking and that it's dithering. Now I could recenter the image using plate solving and a go-to mount, which I have, but because I'm guiding and I have very good polar alignment, I have no need to recenter. So someone with like an EQ mount that has a little rotation or drift, you might want to try that. Or even an alt equatorial mount. If you don't get a good polar alignment, hey Don, then you would want to maybe try to recenter the image using plate solving. And you can tell it to recenter when the drift exceeds so many pixels. FWH I'm guiding, you can see that I am set for 7.5. Right now my skies aren't too bad. They were really bad a moment ago. So anything above the 7.5, it will reject and you'll see a red bar. That frame was not added to the stack. So right here you can see that the stack has been paused to allow a dither to take place. Filter brightness, again, this would be if you have there's a lot of contrails, which I get in my area, and I get a lot of contrails. Or you have patchy clouds, then you would use the filter brightness so that when the cloud came through, it would know that the brightness would go up and you don't want that data. The drift graph, right now it's doing a dither, so it doesn't look the best. But there's a lot of information here that is very helpful for astro nerds like me. So we'll go back to the status. You can see that we're now at 21.7 when we were at 21 or 20 point something when we had like 19 frames. So it will continue to go up, but it'll go up slower. I think the best I've ever seen is 22 or 23 for the bit depth. And that's basically your dynamic range that's in the data. So now that I have a few frames in the stack, I can start playing with the histogram. So this is your black, just like in MallinCam Sky. This is the mids, which isn't in MallinCam Sky, at least the last time I looked. And then this is your white point. I very rarely use the white point for deep sky stuff. I use it a lot for solar, an awful lot. Because I want to, and for solar, you want to squeeze uh, the black point, white point, and then use the mids to get what you want.
Do you need some dessert or water or?
Let's see, I'm using the control key to just zoom in a little bit. Now, because this is a raw file, the data is coming right off the sensor and being displayed on the screen. And anything that I would do to this file does not get saved with the file. So my histogram stretch gets lost, which is okay because it's a linear file. And any color, any changes that I would make to the color, like if I wanted to slam the red, those do not get saved with the stack. So you can see that I have a whopping 4 minutes of data. And we got some pretty good color coming in on the stars. And again, this is max gain at f11 with the C14 and the DS24. You have in the imaging processing controls is where you would add calibration frames. And you can have SharpCap make them for you. So you could do capture dark, capture flats, and it creates a master dark and a master flat. You have to excuse me if you're asking me questions. I'm kind of squinting here tonight. No, I'm not saving the individual frames. I could, but I'm not. And that's mainly because SharpCap does such a good job with the stack that I just find it easier to play with one file instead of hundreds. Now, because this has been plate solved, one of the things you can do is you can annotate the data. And because this is the only thing in the image, you could see that it's telling us that Hercules is within our field of view. And that this will give you other if there's any other objects in the area, you can click on these and they'll pop up on the screen. But these are, I do not think, nearby. I don't think they're something that is within the field of view here. So it's doing another dither, and you can see that it's not stacking the frames while it's dithering, which is really what you want. I don't know when you came in, Howard. Were you here when I went through these? Okay. Now, the one thing I don't have working, because I've been having a problem with I had to re-grease the baffle tube because it was sticking on the in one direction. So I had to take it all apart and grease it. So I haven't had a chance to see if I can get the autofocus back. She's an old girl. Now, one of the things, let's see if I got pixel banding suppression. I could probably run some banding suppression because at max gain, the DS24 has some banding, but I can take care of that in serial, so I don't usually mess with any of the processing controls. I don't use any of the imaging controls. The thermal controls, of course, you can see them at 0. You can use the exposure gain shift. So what this does is, say you wanted to tweak both at the same time, then you would use this tool here, this slider, and it will change the gain and exposure at the same time. I don't really use that. I am saving fits if I was to save captures.
Oh, you wanted ice cream? Wait. I thought you said root beers with ice.
I just want to run it, get my Raza going here, so I'll just let this stack. It's only 8 minutes of data. Got some nice color coming in.
Ass bitch. Pain in the fucking ass.
Oh, there we go. All right, so what, Nina? Turn everything on.
Yaza boss, yaza. I did it here. Yaza boss, yaza.
Ooh. Stirring them up. I just have to start the Raza on a auto run here, so give me a second. I gotta see where that's too low. Go to the framer.
The only ice cream we have is cookies and cream.
I can show you what I'm doing here.
Huh?
Okay, so I picked a target in Stellarium. Now I want to bring it in to the framer. And it's the elephant trunk. We want to slew and center it. How's the house coming down?
Damn motherfucker.
That's not too bad. Don't like that. The tree warning. See how rotated we are. Okay, where has been determined. Was so close to 360, half a degree off. Jeez. Okay, where is? No worries, Howard. I'll be back on the other thing real quick here. Is this? It's a nice region. We'll just add focusing. And we want to, yep, center, start guiding, autofocus. I want to do this every 30 minutes, I think. So we want 180. Oops. 180. 30 seconds. Dither. All right, so we can start this. Bring this over here. And we got 12 minutes. We'll go to 15 minutes. We'll stop and go someplace else. There you go. So what I wanted to do is get Vegas right in the top of the tree, so it won't be much longer. And 14, let's see, is, what's his name up? He's got to be in here somewhere. Eagle. Should be good. You can see that there's some pretty good color in the stars. I have a lot of sky glow, boys. A lot of smoke from the fireworks. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's see. And we got 15 minutes, so all I have to do is stop this, and it will save the stack with this name. And you can see stack saved. Now let's go to the Eagle. Let's see if we can capture Mr. Eagle. Got to do a pretty big slew here. Okay. I think I see it. There she be. Or he. Okay, so let's. It's there, but this is going to be a hard one because it's so far in the muck. There it is right there. So under normal circumstances, when you first see your image, it's going to look like this, mainly because it's linear data. And it's 3 seconds, Jack, max gain. So what we will do is jump into the live stacker. Oh. I forgot to stop the, what else is new? And that would be because there isn't enough.